Hey everyone, Emily here and welcome to my kitchen. I always ask for your suggestions at the end of every video, and today I'm going to be making one of those, and it happens to be one of my favorite things to make during the fall and winter season, a really good chili recipe. This one is super simple to throw together. I'll show you how to make it. Let's get started. There isn't much chopping to do with this one. We only have a few fresh vegetables that we need to throw in. I'm going to start by dicing up one medium yellow onion. I have a large pot heating up on my stove over medium-high heat. I'll add a good drizzle of olive oil to the bottom of that and then toss in my onions and let those start cooking. At this point, I'm also going to add in a couple cloves of garlic. To save myself some chopping, I like to use these frozen cubes. And if you don't have those, you can just chop up 2 cloves of garlic and add that into your pot with onions. While the onions cook down and become translucent, I'm going to chop up 2 small to medium green bell peppers. Just remove the seeds and give these a nice slice across. And then slice the other way and you'll have a nice even dice. I don't like my chili to be too chunky, so I do like to chop everything up nice and small. That was a pretty big one, so I think we're gonna be fine with just 1 bell pepper. I'm also going to chop up 1 jalapeno. You can leave this out if you don't like it to be too spicy, or you can kind of meet somewhere in the middle and remove the seeds to take out some of that additional spice. And then finally, the last ingredient to chop are these chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. Now this adds a really interesting flavor to the chili. It's a nice smokiness and these aren't too spicy, and it goes really well with a kind of sweet chili. So if you like your chili with a little bit of brown sugar in it, which I do, this goes really nice with it. So I'm going to remove about 2 decent sized chipotle peppers from here. There's also some nice sauce in here and we're going to use some of that later on as well. So don't throw this can out. Give this a good chop up. You want to chop it so it forms almost a paste. That's all the chopping there is, so I'm going to head over to the stove and throw this all together. You can easily make this chili vegetarian, and I usually do. Today, I'm going to be adding in a pound of ground beef. You could use a meat substitute, or if you'd rather not use a meat substitute, you could also just sub in a couple extra cans of beans. So I'm going to put in a pound of ground beef directly into my onion mixture. Kind of break that up. And let this cook until it's completely browned. I browned and drained off that meat and onion mixture, so I'm going to add it back into my pan. And now we're going to add in everything I chopped up. So those 2 chipotle chilies, our jalapeno, our bell pepper. I have some crushed tomatoes from my garden. I'm going to add in the equivalent of 1 can. As well as 1 can of plain tomato sauce, half a can of sweet corn, and 2 to 3 cans of beans. This is a mixture of light and dark kidney beans and pinto beans that I've rinsed and drained. And now we'll get started on our seasoning. So I'm gonna bring back out that can that had our chipotle chilies in there. So add in 2 tablespoons of our reserved sauce from our chipotle chilies, 2 teaspoons of chili powder. This is a spicy chili powder and also includes a little bit of smoked paprika. You can use whatever you prefer. About a half a teaspoon of cinnamon and a packed tablespoon of brown sugar. I'll add in a good amount of cracked black pepper. I'll do about a half a teaspoon. And I'll add in a half a teaspoon of salt. Give everything a good mix to combine. I'll let this come up to a simmer and then turn the heat down just a bit. And this is going to cook on the stove uncovered for about an hour. Now, by leaving it uncovered, this is going to allow some of that moisture to evaporate, and you'll wind up with a nice thick chili that's not too watery. And the longer you leave it on the stove, the thicker it's going to be and the better the flavors are going to incorporate. Once this has had some time to cook, give it a taste and adjust the seasonings as needed. This has had a little over an hour to kind of bubble away on the stove, and you can see what a difference it has made. When it started off, this was quite a bit more watery. Now the chili has really started to thicken up. A lot of that extra liquid has evaporated out, and this is ready to serve up. Let's give it a try. I made a veggie version of this chili for myself the other day, so I'm just gonna sprinkle on a little bit of cheese. You could add in some crackers or cornbread if you want, and a few green onions. And let's give it a try. The chipotle chilies in this give this a really unique flavor. It's a little bit smoky and sweet, especially with the addition of the brown sugar, but not overpoweringly so. And it has a little bit of heat to it as well, but I think it's at a good level where just about anyone would like it. This is a super versatile recipe. You can make this vegetarian, you can make this with meat. Comes out perfect every single time, especially with a little bit of extra time on the stove. I hope you try it and I hope you like it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notified every time I post. As always, you can find the full recipe in the description box down below, along with links to all of my social media pages and my Amazon page where you can find all of my cooking favorites. Leave a comment if you liked this recipe or if you have an idea for the next one that I should try. Hope to see you back here next time.